What if one ordinary day, you found out that the things you took for granted, the work you rushed through, the moments you didn't care about, were actually shaping the very life you're living now? What if every careless choice, every shortcut, was quietly building the world you'd one day call your own? Life doesn't always tell us when something matters. It just watches and lets our choices whisper who we truly are. In a busy city full of people chasing dreams, there was a young software designer named Patrick. He had worked in the same tech company for 8 long years, creative, loyal, and dependable. But lately, Patrick felt empty. The late nights, the endless deadlines, the pressure, they all wore him down. He began to wonder if all his effort even mattered. One morning, with quiet exhaustion, Patrick walked into his manager's office and said, "Ms. Garcia, I think it's time for me to move on. I'll finish this month, then I'm done." His manager, Ms. Garcia, looked surprised. Patrick had always been one of her best designers. She smiled softly and said, "I understand, Patrick. But before you go, could you take on one last project for us? Just one." Patrick hesitated. He wanted to say no, but Ms. Garcia had always treated him with kindness. So he finally agreed. "All right," he said with a sigh. One last project. It was a new app, something creative and meaningful, designed to help people learn real-life skills through stories and interactive tasks. But Patrick's heart wasn't in it anymore. He worked without passion. He reused old designs. He skipped testing. Every time he saw a small flaw, he told himself, "It's fine. I'm leaving anyway." When the deadline came, he turned in his work, half-hearted, uninspired, and unfinished. He didn't care. He just wanted it over. On his final day, Ms. Garcia invited him to the company lounge. A few coworkers were there, smiling warmly. On the table was a small wrapped box. "Patrick," Ms. Garcia said, handing him the box, "we wanted to thank you. You've given so much to this company. This last app, we've decided to dedicate it to you." Patrick blinked. "To me?" She nodded. "Yes. We'll be using your app as a model for our mentorship program to help train new employees." Patrick's smile faded. His chest grew tight. All he could think about were the bugs, the messy code, the rushed design. His shortcuts were now going to teach others. He nodded politely, but inside, he felt a heavy wave of regret. If only he had known the project would mean something, he would have built it with his whole heart. That night, Patrick sat alone in his apartment. He opened the app on his laptop. Every glitch, every ugly corner, they all stared back at him like a reflection of his carelessness. He realized something painful. He hadn't just given up on his job, he had given up on himself. So he began to fix it. Quietly, patiently. Every bug, every design flaw, every forgotten detail. He rebuilt them with care. Not for recognition, not for praise, but because he wanted to leave behind something he could be proud of. Weeks later, Patrick sent the updated version to Ms. Garcia with a simple note. "I've made some changes. This is how I truly wanted it to be. Thank you for giving me the chance to see that again." Ms. Garcia replied, "Patrick, sometimes we don't realize the value of what we're building until we see ourselves in it. I'm proud of you." Patrick smiled. He understood now. It was never about the company, the project, or the paycheck. It was about showing up with integrity, about giving your best, even when no one's watching. Lesson: life is the project we're all building, one choice, one action, one moment at a time. The effort you give today becomes the foundation you'll live in tomorrow. So build it with honesty, with care, and with love. Because someday, you'll look around and realize you've been living inside the very thing you created. Maybe that's what life's really about. Not the big moments we wait for, but the small ones we barely notice. Every effort, every decision, every time we choose to care or not to care, it all becomes part of who we are. So whatever you're building right now, a dream, a relationship, a future, build it with heart. Because one day, you'll look back and realize you've been living inside the choices you made.